All right, I'm just recording this from my phone, but this is something everybody told me to do that I never did, and I really regret it. One of the biggest things that I've found in my agency that I get so caught up in is just being or just working in the agency, and I never celebrated my wins. And what ended up happening was, or what's happened recently, and it's kind of bummed me out a little bit, is you get to these stages in your business and then you look back over like a period of 5, 6 months, and I've only been in this business for, with my agency for the last 6 months, and you get to this stage where you're like, what have I actually accomplished, right? And you get so caught up in everything that you've actually done, and then you look back on it and you're like, holy shit, I actually did a load of stuff. But if you don't recognize it while you're actually doing it, you just get lost. And what ended up happening was I just went home recently. I went back to Wellington, which is where I grew up in New Zealand. And I was hanging out with my family and I was walking around the city, and I was walking around and I started thinking like, God, how much stuff, and I'm only 27, but I got like real nostalgic and I was like, how much stuff have I actually done in this city? And I started thinking back on all the things I did, and I started thinking about what I was thinking when I was in the city, right? And I was in there walking around, and I started realizing that while I was living there when I was younger, I was so caught up in my own head, right? I just was never thinking about like living in the moment or celebrating any sorts of milestones. And what ends up happening is you get so caught up, and then what happened to me was I started thinking about all this time I spent that I just didn't really appreciate, and I felt really sad, but I was super grateful that I actually had this realization now at the age of 27, where I am with my agency, rather than, 30, 40, 50 years when I'm old and I look back and I'm like, I didn't celebrate or appreciate any of the things I did. Now I've got all this stuff, but no good memories to really reflect on. So something I really recommend doing, and something that I'm going to start doing, it's a short video today, but it's figuring out or implementing stages in your business that you can celebrate when you hit. Now, what you can see here, see if I can quickly flip my screen. I can't even do it. Here you go. So as you can see here, I've got 3 different milestones that I've put into my business, right? You can see milestone number 1, 15K per month, I'm gonna get a nice watch. 20K per month, I'm gonna get a steak dinner with my friend. 25K a month, I'm gonna get a gift for somebody I really care about. And what that does is it just kind of, what I hope it does rather, and what I hope it does is gives me something to work towards, but then when I do hit it, it associates an event with it, right? It gives me something to celebrate, something to really look forward to, and something to reflect on. And I think a lot of the time we can get really stuck up in the grind kind of thing, and constantly working and not really having any time to reflect on what we've achieved. And then when we do hit our goals, we do hit the things that we were constantly working towards, we get there and then we're like, okay, I've got a bunch of money, but now what? Right? And that's something that I realized when I went back home, just not having the opportunity when I was there to actually celebrate what I did. And what this is supposed to do is prevent that, and just allow me to have like clear things that I can look back on and be like, yeah, I did knock that out of the park. I crushed it with that one client, and I celebrated in this way. That's just a small video I just want to put up together for you guys. I hope you find that useful. Celebrate your wins. It's something I'm going to do a lot more of. If you have any questions, let me know.